Howdy toddy everybody, this is Tommy with Colonel Rev Scale Models coming at you with an update on the AMT Triceratops dinosaur kit that I'm doing for the Box Stock Community Build Other hosted by Roadhog 0822, Cliff, and Papa Dan doing the other side. So this is the finished and completely put together built dino. Had a lot of work on the seams, which I'll zoom in here and you can probably see some of them. There's seams around the horn that I had to get taken care of, some under the chin that still may need a little bit of work more, behind his frill and the gaps there, and turn it around here and get under there, up in that gap. I don't know if you can see that. And then each leg, as you can see right there at where the hip joins the body. Now I used, and then there's a big gap, big seam running right down the back. So I didn't really pay too much attention to that one. I got it pretty good, but you can still see there's a little bit there. Along these plates along the back, those came out really good too. I used the Elmer's wood filler white that Papa Dan had suggested and did with his Gundams. Works really good since it's a water base and you can put it in the seams and then run over it with a damp brush and it smooths it out really good, because you can see the dinosaur already had texture. Now this back leg here, right here, that one I experimented with some Minwax wood filler. Crap, don't get it, don't use it, really grainy, it just was horrible. So I pulled most of it out. I didn't get all of it, and then went over it with a little bit more of the Elmer's, but you can see the big seam line that I'm going to try to kind of scrape and get it down to more match the texture of the skin that you see there, and then put some more of the putty in there. So it'll probably be my last joint to work on before I start putting paint on it. I'm still kind of in the air with what color I'm going to do it. I'm thinking this is just a gray Walmart cheap primer, but it's done, it holds up pretty good. And there's also a jaw seam, but I think I got most of it, at least to the point of where you really can't tell it. And then the horns I think came out pretty good, because the dinosaur obviously would have some type of separation between the horn and the skin there, kind of like rhinos do today. But overall, I think I'm really happy with how the seams turned out with those, with using that putty. And like I said, most of it, you can see some right in there, but it smooths out pretty good. I mean, the dinosaur would obviously have some skin folds where there's joints. So I'm thinking of doing either a darker gray, more like a rhinoceros look to it, or a brown, a darker brown along the top, and gets kind of lighter as it goes down, and maybe more of a cream underneath. I'm not going to do the box art, and I've taken pictures and stuff of other drawings because nobody really knows what color these dinosaurs were. You can kind of only guess, but I think I'm probably going to go with the brown, and because of the texture, then I'll probably put like a dark brown wash so it'll fill in those creases. And I don't know, I don't know if I'll do rattle can on it because you don't have as much control, or I might just have to drag out the spray booth and do some acrylic airbrushing. That'll probably be my best bet. And then what I'll do is I'll go back and hand paint the little plates along the back here and here, and then just kind of do some dry brushing, paint the horns, obviously a different color, and then around the jaw area, try to give it like a wet look on the inside, and then something with the eyes that you can see there. The eyes aren't so pronounced. But it was a fun build. I like putting it together. It went together really well. Like I said, there were some joints, obviously, I just showed you, but I think they came out pretty good using that putty. It's really good getting into those grooves, especially these type of joints where it would be a nightmare to try to sand it even with small sanding sticks. So anyway, the next video about this build will be the final reveal, probably sometime mid-April, since spring break's coming up, and I know I'm not going to be getting any bench time then. So working on that, trying to finish it up, and also working on the little teeny tiny Revell Bismarck. I've been kind of playing with that while this one was drying, and this is also sprayed with just the primer. It's put together, and then I hand painted some of the lighter shades before I start doing the deck, kind of a tan color to simulate the wood, and then I've already used the acrylics on some of the parts that are in here, the gun turrets and things like that. So that'll come together once I get back and finish this dyno. So anyhow, I hope everybody's had a good weekend, and as always, hotty toddy and God bless.